What's up, guys?
Yo,
Wait, it's 3.
alright,
Essential.
you know
Hello.
who that is. That is Vinny. And this is Christian, and we have a special guest today.
Oh yeah, if you don't know,
It's
you
my
don't
buddy
know-
Gary.
if you don't know, my name is Transmaster X on YouTube because I know most people don't know me because I have 46 subs. Subscribe to me, please, because my goal is to get 50 in like 10 days. No,
Never tell
yeah,
us
in like
my
23
channel.
days.
And
Never tell
Gary,
us my channel.
Gary doesn't have a channel, right?
No, I do. It's just I don't want to tell it.
What do you have videos
when I
on?
was really young and I messed it up really bad.
Oh, okay.
Just ignore the background, guys. Just
Alright.
ignore it.
Try to ignore it. It's very difficult.
That's why I'm gonna talk with this.
Alright, so just what we're gonna talk about today is just, I guess, freeze bolt and cold flare. But before we move on to that, well, is there anything you guys want to say before we move on to the big meat of this?
This set's gonna be a big one.
I'm
It
gonna
is.
mention up the hydreigon deck.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the deck I'm gonna run. That deck's amazing.
No, here, this is what I think is wrong with it. The person who won with it is just got complete lucky. I mean, yes, it's an alright deck. It's pretty good. But what you have to run is communication. I don't know how many times
agree.
I've been proxying this deck out, and I always would have like a level ball in my hand, or an ultra ball in my hand, and I would have another Pokemon in my hand. Meanwhile, when I would have rare candy in my hand too, but I would not have a hydreigon in my hand.
I agree.
It's definitely want at least 3 or at least 2. You definitely need to run though.
What I'm thinking is, like, you said something like 2 Ultra Ball. I'm thinking 3 Ultra Ball and, like, 3 Communication or something. Because, in my Empoleon list, which right now I'm using Empoleon Terrakion, my list is very, very good. And
It is really good.
it's a really strange list. Like, it's so weird.
Husks of corn.
Huh?
Husks of corn.
What?
In my day, I used husks of corn.
Oh, that.
I don't get it.
It's an inside. It's a video. Anyways, let's get back on topic.
It's an inside joke. You go, girl.
Yes, back on the topic.
Alright,
I feel
so...
like we're gonna be getting sidetracked a lot.
Alright,
That was my fault.
but I'm still thinking maybe 424 Hydreigon could be better in lowering maybe the count of supporters.
No, you know what the problem is? Hydreigon's low because it's not supposed to attack. It's supposed to be used to move the energy so that you can use your max potion.
That's what people say.
The tank with the Darkrai.
But it's a very decent attacker.
It's a
If your
decent
Darkrai's
attacker.
tanking, you're not gonna die.
I don't mind attacking with it either, to be honest.
Either way, it just.
The Hydreigon is like a situational attacker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, if you're risking other
You're off
dragons...
topic again.
I could possibly see this, possibly with the new set. I'm gonna bring up the Cell VEX. What it does, everybody remembers Memory Berry, right?
Wait, if I were you, I would just wait till we get to that point.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna forget. I'm just gonna say a quick point.
Alright, do it.
Oh,
It's like Memory Berry, but it's Pokemon on the bench, and instead, the Hydreigon could use Relios's attack for a colorless energy, picking up 2 dark energy from discard. Possibly run 1 at least in your deck. But let's get on to what you were
Yes,
gonna.
before
Alright,
we move
if you guys
on,
get
I'm going...
sidetracked, I'm gonna yell at you.
Alright, I just want to say one more thing, it's quick. I think I'm going to run Empoleon still next format, Empoleon and Terrakion, just because if you really think about it, it has a good matchup and it doesn't have a bad matchup against anything. Like, it can two-shot everything, like in most situations. Like, it's a unique deck, it's really fun to play, and there's a lot of options. Like, I'm going to tech in Mew-EX, if possible.
Mew-EX is gonna be good.
Yeah.
But we're getting off topic.
Yes,
again.
we are, so...
Let's go
I
straight.
realize-
Let's
Off-topic
go,
stuff
and
a lot.
and before we move on, okay, this is a quick thing. If you guys want to leave comments, like questions of what we think about stuff, then maybe we'll answer it in the next episode. We've already recorded one.
Yeah, question.
Yes, Gary wants questions, so... Alright, first let's move on to... Alright, the first one that's interesting, in my opinion, is Vileplume.
Exactly.
That's like your favorite word.
Yeah.
It's essentially everything has 4 times weakness.
And what bad about it is that you have to deal with it's got a decent effect of its attack for the amount of damage it's doing, but
The energy's pretty bad.
It takes 4 energy just to do 50 and a poison and use a sleep on your opponent. It just sets it up and too quickly, and I honestly think that the retreat cost from 1 to 3 is just outrageous.
I was thinking about something. What if there's a format that is heavy dark weakness, like we are fighting now, so you can use the Sableye that has no weakness with Vileplume, so you're basically hitting for 4 times weakness with no weakness on yourself, or something like that.
I've actually heard
Sableye is a pretty bad attacker though.
Not just Sableye though, but if you run something like that, you can abuse something with no weakness.
Yeah.
Oh wait, go.
Alright, well, the next card.
Wait, before we go on to the next card, I was gonna say that people have been telling me that 6 corners is gonna be good because of this card.
Might be.
I don't know. I don't know.
Too long. Alright, this is gonna sound crazy, but I think the Blossom might see some potential. I know nobody has brought this up, but just listen to this. Whereas not for a single grass energy, you're doing 10 damage plus 20 more damage for each energy required for the defending Pokemon.
That's pretty decent.
I mean, let's think of it this way. You have Terrakion. Regular Terrakion takes 4 retreat. So then you're gonna do 2 times 4, 90 damage, and you're killing up the regular Terrakion.
Wow, good thinking. I wasn't even thinking that way.
But
I also wasn't thinking about that.
But its second attack is definitely not good. You're confusing yourself for a possible 150.
And most of the time, you're probably gonna hit 450.
Exactly.
So I guess there's not much to say about that card. I really want to go over Vespiquen because I'm curious what this card exactly wants to be.
I was just looking at that actually. It interests me.
It's like it's one of those cards that I think is going to be better later on, possibly, but it just doesn't suit the format right now, and that I find that ironic because every time I've said that, I've been correct. Like I've said the same thing about what did I say? I've said the same thing about Kierum from Noble Victories. I said that about Shaman EX, and now Vespiquen's out.
I have a feeling with that Vespiquen, it's probably going to be good with either Kierum or Flygon, so you can get all the damage on him and then use the beatdown, the damage beat attack. Oh, the Flygon from the set.
Maybe I could possibly see a late game attacker if you're maybe if you're using maybe if you use 2 energy types and actually this is how I'm seeing it. I could see it.
Sorry, I just looked at the card above it. You can commit suicide with it.
Yeah, you're not really committing suicide with it actually. But anyways,
there's only one in play.
You know, we're getting off topic. Anyway, so I'm thinking that possibly paired up with Flygon, Dusknoir maybe. Hey, Fly, shoot, there you go. Possibly you could Flygon, obviously to get all damage hurt around it. Possibly paired up with Darkrai for free retreat.
I'll be 100% honest. I think it's pretty terrible for now.
It is, but
it's
this is what I'm.
gonna get better over time.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think it's unique. Like it's one of those.
Brings all damage counters to the opponent that needs for Vespiquen to just clean up and knock it out. That's what I'm thinking.
I was thinking Kierum from Noble Victories and Dusknoir, and I was actually watching Zapdos TCG's new video, and he like says the same thing. I'm like, oh, he stole my idea. Nah, I'm just kidding, but
Alright,
I thought I was the only one who thought of that. I guess not. I guess people are brighter than I thought.
Alright, well...
Whimsicott.
Yeah, the Whimsicott interests me.
A very underrated Pokemon indeed.
Nothing to say anything about it.
Lufthoff, whatever it is, with Kierum, that could be amazing. With the Glaciate, because you add 40 to Glaciate, so that's basically, essentially doing 70 to everything.
Wait, what does the switch?
There's a guy, Lufthoff. Switch Whimsicott with one of your bench Pokemon. During your next turn, the new active Pokemon does 40 more damage. So Glaciate's doing 70, and then you can use
every Pokemon. It doesn't just.
At the same time, it leaves them vulnerable.
Just look, Pokemon during your next turn. Bench Pokemon during your next turn, the new active Pokemon's attack do 40 more damage. It doesn't say it doesn't do 40 more damage for the active. It just says it does 40 more damage.
Exactly. So Glaciate's doing 70 everywhere, and then next turn you can manipulate that so much with Snore. It's gonna be ridiculous.
I mean, also think about it this way. You could also be knocking out dinos. You could be knocking out Sableye. You could be knocking out.
You'd be two-shotting Hydreigon.
Yeah, two-shotting Hydreigon, knocking out Gibbles.
Keldio's done in 2 shots.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be able to It's gonna. I'm gonna say it takes 4 turns just to 2-shot.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I didn't actually not see that. All right. So the next card is Charizard. Not much to
Charizard.
say about it.
It's pretty bad in my opinion.
I
actually have an idea with this card.
Edward, that's all I can think of.
But it's a stage 2. It's just not worth it.
I have an idea with this card. What if you run this with the Terrakion so you can use the Terrakion to set it up fast?
Oh, maybe. I mean, you're obviously gonna have to run Sillins, of course. You can't run plain energy searches. You could run both, but honestly, Sillin just has to be seen though.
I'll be honest.
I get crazy ideas, as you say.
When are you ever going to use the Charizard, to be honest? I mean, other than Shaman, are there any good grass types?
Yeah.
I'll give the Charmeleon some counts.
It does a decent amount of damage. I mean, say you want to get 3... No, I was going to say you want to get 3 Aerodactyl on the field. It works fine.
Oh, I said Virizion because of a good grass type.
Alright, I'm gonna be right back in like a few seconds. You guys continue talking.
Alright, the Charmeleon is interesting enough, but not great. In my opinion, this is just not a very average evolution line.
It's not good, but say like a beginner gets a Terrakion, you can run that.
And its first attack, to be honest, is actually pretty good. But in my opinion, if it wasn't Charizard, people wouldn't be putting their pants.
You still talking about Charmeleon?
Charizard.
I'm just saying that if it was some other Pokemon other than Charizard, then it wouldn't be seen as great.
Probably would get a little less.
I'm thinking maybe using Cell. I'm a big fan of the Celebi that we're gonna be talking about later. I'm a big fan of the Celebi and Celebi. I just love it. Probably use Celebi and Charizard use. I don't know. Anyways, off topic again.
Darmanitan. Let's check this guy out. 2 retreat, weakness to water. First attack. It's okay, but I mean,
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like luck-based moves because I have the worst luck you've ever seen.
Well, just think about it this way. Yes, it's luck-based, but also you're not really mainly using it. I mean, obviously you use it if you're in the active and you don't have the required energy. Just to see how much damage you get. Because look at it this way: there's a possibility, like 1 in 10, of knocking out your opponent's Pokemon.
And then second attack is good, in my opinion. 2 fires, fire and a DCE. 60 damage plus 60 more if there's any damage on them.
I see this being used with the one Pokemon that if you flip a coin, I think it's Mana from the set.
Yeah, it's Mana.
We'll talk to that later.
We'll get to that later. Now, that's a pretty decent card. Azumarill.
Nothing that good.
It's pretty terrible in my opinion.
Terrible. Nothing good. Mamoswine.
Mamoswine. This is a really interesting card.
It is.
Mix it with Fliptini, you could possibly one-shot everything.
Its first attack, water colorless. Sorry, bad word. Can't pronounce that. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 20 more damage, and the defending Pokemon is paralyzed. First thing about it, 70 plus paralyzation with Fliptini. Redoing it if it doesn't work, then you're doing it again. But what's bad about it is that both of Mamoswine's attacks are just based on coin flips.
Exactly.
I could see this used with the Blastoids, set it up fast.
I could too.
2 stage 2s.
2 stage 2s is too slow.
And then water and a colorless. continuous headbutt 90 damage times the amount of heads you get. Flip coin until you get tails. Compared to Fliptini, all you would need is to get 2 heads straight. The problem is it has to be in a row. It can't just be, let me flip this one, alright, heads. Let me flip this one, tails. I'm only doing 90 damage.
Alright,
That's true.
so it seems like Mammoth Swine with Victini might be good, and even the Delibird under it aids that.
I was about to mention that.
The Delibird, flip a coin, if head, search your deck for any card, and then put it in your hand. So
I was thinking about putting it in the possible Blastoise, which we'll talk about later.
wow, I actually think this is pretty
Next
good.
is the Frillish.
The Frillish?
Terrible attack, we're not going to get into that, but
Jellicent is
if
interesting.
this Pokemon is in play, your opponent must discard one extra energy in order to retreat.
It's pretty interesting. Its attack isn't very good, but I'm still a little iffy.
I don't like it. It's just pretty...
It's not. It's a little clunky. It's not really worth evolving. It's catcher bait.
Exactly.
And then the new said strike. Search your deck for a energy. It says R, so there must be like a I don't know a mistitling.
I think it means random.
Oh,
Okay,
for
let me
a.
look. No, let me look.
I think it's
Fire.
a misfire.
You're looking at searching your deck for a fire?
Wait, what? Is this correct? Oh well,
Yes,
whatever. Let's
look
just go
on
with
it.
it.
Oh, it says lightning.
No, it's got fire.
Yeah, it's
Look.
fire, dude. This is weird. Yeah,
Anyways,
it's fire. It's fire.
you
It's
definitely
fire.
not be using this attack. And all it is just, if you guys remember Ampharos, it did an 80 and possible 32 itself. That's what this is doing, but only for
Oh
90.
well, it's not like we even need to know what it does, because it sucks.
Exactly.
Really bad.
Really bad. It's pretty terrible. Alright, let's talk about Grumpig. I don't want to stay on this card for too long. It's the same thing, like 60 plus 60 more damage for a colorless and a type of
It's
energy.
not good.
It's not very
It would
good in
be
my opinion. I
very
think
good with Copycat, but we're losing that, so this card just sucks.
exactly. And then Cresselia EX.
Or
People have
charge.
been,
Terrible. I hate it.
it's so bad. It's bad, but at the same
All I
time,
did was
it's
go
so
hard
good.
For it,
Catch
but
bait?
sucked.
All it is catcher bait as a basic superior.
No, it's no,
Right.
no, dude. Its ability, Sparkling Dust, at any time between turns, heal 10 damage from Cresselia, not all your other
I
Pokemon.
misread. Wow, that's terrible.
And at the
I
same
thought
time,
thing when I
wait,
first heard it.
If you
Sucks.
think about it, Psycho Defender, 9 damage. You don't have a weakness. You two can't one-shot you. You can one-shot it.
Yeah, but just look at it. For energy just do 90 without... You're paying an extra energy to prevent weakness. It's not worth it. I'd rather just random... If it was... Honestly, I think there should be a card that does a certain amount of damage, but you have to discard a card from your hand to do an amount of damage.
In my opinion, it's decent, but not great.
Mewtwo's not played as much anymore.
Yeah.
Because Dark...
Actually, it's seeing a rise again.
Yeah,
It is.
definitely. Okay, so,
Muna.
let's see.
The Muna.
Muna, this one has an interesting ability. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon is asleep. If tails, your active is asleep. Terrible, but
if you
interesting.
have, no, it's not terrible. Just listen, if you have Musharna and you get heads in your hand, you could always play Musharna on it. But obviously, if it doesn't work out well and it goes and it backfires, you could still evolve Musharna and still attack with it, and still like you could still attack and everything. It's just not good.
Yeah, Bisharna's pretty bad, too.
Both bad, but
I love how Moon is better than Musharna.
it is.
I want to direct special attention to the Venipede line. They all have this amazing ability.
Oh, I love the ability.
Poison points. To be honest, Scolopede's attack isn't that good, but they're most likely going to be poisoned, so I would say it's at least a good attack, not great.
Also, I know this card doesn't come later, but there's a stadium poison does 20 more damage. So, which is also going to be much better than this because you're going to do 20 between turns plus the 140 to the 80 plus 40 to the active. 140.
We'll get to
Pretty
that.
much you'll be doing about 140 a turn. Enough to kill a hydreigon.
Then we have Milota, which is terrible. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's move
Well,
on.
I actually like it a little bit.
The first attack, you mean it's still terrible?
First attack, possible Mewtwo counter.
Mewtwo's are gonna have 2 energies usually.
Its
Maybe
second
3.
attack, if you remember next Minchino from Next Destinies,
Wait, I want
this
to use that.
doing is just doing the same thing, but Minchino has a possible chance of preventing all damage generally.
That's Cinchino, I think you're thinking of.
Cinchino, yeah, I get them confused.
Malotia, whatever it is gonna get an X-Ball to the face.
Yes,
If it goes up against Mewtwo, it's gonna get an X-Ball to the face. That's easily its description.
alright.
Next,
My score, this is
terrible,
pretty bad.
Talk about it.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Next is Lunatone, just looking at top 2 cards of your deck, putting them in the order you want. This one, Mancho, I didn't look at it. Choose 1 card from your opponent's
Wait, where
hand.
are you guys?
Near the Lunatone. Once during your turn, you may
Oh,
look
yeah,
at the top
Lunatone.
2 cards of your deck.
I just went to the Mancho. I like it, actually.
Look at
Lunatone,
It's a
look,
lot
dude,
better.
Lunatone is good. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put them back on top of your deck in any order.
Alright, I like the Mienshao kind of 20, but you're discarding a card attached to the Pokemon.
It's okay.
It's alright. I mean, if you want to stall a little bit, it's the card for you. But it's just terrible with anything else. Now, what's the next one?
Landorus, I love this card.
This card, in my opinion, is really good.
I have to just my opinion. I know you guys are definitely gonna disagree with it. I don't like it. I hate it. I think all it's good for is the one. It went from a 1 retreat cost to basic to 3. Just terrible.
It's heavy ballable.
It's got resistant to lightning. Its second attack is pretty good.
Just listen. It can only be paired up with 1 card only, and that card, my friends, is Terrakion EX.
My
Which I love.
friends.
You
Yeah.
can't- It's just I don't like. It's hard. It's a good manual start, but just look. If you're gonna start with it, you have to work your way out with the 3 retreat switch. If you have it in your hand, you're lucky. Darkrai. But
No, you're thinking of it as like a 4 of. I'm thinking about it as like a 1 or 2 of. Like just to get that revenge kill on a Darkrai or something.
I guess. I mean, you're doing hold on, let me do my math. I'm sorry.
Or if you place the energies right, you could sweep through Darkrai Hydreigon with the weakness and then just discard it into for the Hydreigon.
Exactly.
Honestly, I like if anything, you probably use just Reshiram or you Reshiram, Flatini, Eviolite, because that's all it's doing. 100 Reshiram EX, I'm sorry. It's all it's doing is you're discarding all your energy for 3 energy and doing 150. Meanwhile, you could.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be 3 energy.
Yes, it does.
It just says, all fighting energy.
Oh,
The last one's colorless.
yeah, but what's the chances you're gonna have double colorless or water energy?
Plus, you could set it up in 1 turn. With Terrakion EX.
Yeah, I know. But I just think best would be was just to use. I don't know. It's hard to find a Pokemon to put this deck in. Terrakion, yes, but it's hard. It's hard to get it set up again, or just get it set up so it's only discarding 2 energy. All right, so let's get to the Leopard.
Leopard is interesting just for the second attack, but it's not great. I wouldn't suggest really talking about it. It's not really noteworthy. Now, this Flygon, I want to give special attention to.
Hold on, I'm just gonna say what it does. If heads, you choose any one of your own Pokemon, bench Pokemon attack, and you use it. That's all.
They did something weird with this. Trapinch, since Trapinch is fighting, Trapinch is in the fighting section, not under it.
Yeah, that's how they label their cards. If you,
I just realized that.
They section off their cards by type.
Yeah, I
So,
know, I just realized that.
This is where Scyther is gonna be in the beginning. Anyways, I'm gonna get both to talk about both Revolver and Flygon. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, the Flygon the Celebi can use like memory berry. I like it a lot. What you could do is always when you have Celebi on your bench, always like use the 3-2-3 line or something. You have Flygon with on top of the Bravo. What you could do is that you could use Bravo's attack, Sand Impulse, for fighting in a double colorless. Does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon 50 to the active. Plus, if you pair, and Flygon's ability does 10 all around. And also, what I also like is Eradicate Flygon. But we'll get to that when we get to Eradicate, which won't be too soon.
Yeah, Black Kyurem, just looking at this card. It's interesting.
Bad.
I don't know exactly what to think of it just yet, to be honest.
I like the other one better.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move on. I don't know what to think of this card.
Alright, Eradicate.
Eradicate.
Terrible 60 HP.
Oh, okay.
Eradicate. It's got a terrible 60 HP, but if you use it with the other stadium card, which is adding 20 to it, and then you're gonna use Big Cloak to add another 20, you have 100. For 3 energy, does any amount of energy as long as it brings it down to, attack. As long as it brings it, like, attack, it can't cost, or whatever, damage. And it brings it down to 1. So you could be doing, 190 damage to your opponent's Eviolated Darkrai.
It really is pretty good.
Possibly pair it up with the Amogus from Next Destinies. I just want to say this is not my idea. This was Zapdos TCG's idea. I was talking to him about it in the comments on his news video, so just want to blame it out. So if ever it does get popular because of this video, I don't want to have any copyright issue or something like that. Be on the safe side, but honestly, I also like the idea of that too. This Eradicate that we'll definitely see somehow to be played.
Alright, Lopunny, pretty bad. I'm just gonna move on, who cares? Unfezant, terrible, who cares?
It sure looks awesome.
Audino, all it is a full
I think Audino's pretty bad, to be honest, too.
Healing. It's like it's a full heal with doing 10 damage, minusing 10 damage from your. It's just bad. Anyways, we have Escape Rope, which is 4 points.
Escape Rope.
The next card.
The next one,
Town Map. That's something.
It's good. It's play with your prize cards face up for the rest of the game. Everybody will find a way to put this in the deck. It's just everything.
Actually, I bet you some people aren't gonna put it in a deck just because their opponent's playing it.
No, it's only working for you.
Wow, that is really a good card, you know?
Yeah.
The only problem is your opponent's gonna be able to see your prizes too.
That's not gonna do anything.
That's true.
I mean, yes, it might give away half your deck sometimes, but honestly, it's gonna work out in the long run. To be honest, half players, myself is one, are clueless about some decks. I mean, I know some decks, but when I see random cards, I'm like, what the hell is that deck? I mean, the only thing that will give it away is the energy and the Pokemon in it.
That's true.
Or if you use I can't use it. I can't say anything about it. Hugh sucks.
Actually, wait, I just realized something about Hugh. What if you use this without a Pokemon that you have to have the same hand size as your opponent?
Oh, yeah.
I just realized that.
Who was that Pokemon?
I'll go look back and find it.
It was Grumpig.
It was Grumpig, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, use the new Copycat or Judge, but you may have to discard cards from your hand.
It is Grumpig.
Draw cards. Either way, you'll be drawing 4. Next, we have the Burbank City Gym.
I like this card.
If a Pokemon is poisoned, place 2 more damage counters on it. Works great with the Scolipede. That's obviously duo. Next, we have the
Gold Potion, Heal 90. It's an Ace Spec. It's awesome.
But you can only run 1 Ace Spec in your deck. Next, we have Crystal Edge. It gives Black Kyurem 300 HP. Next,
Ace Spec card.
Let's get on to the secret rares. Well,
there's Cresselia. There's the ones we've already went over.
Full Art.
I like Sharon Full Art. It's a cool looking card.
Yeah, and then we have Golurk from the new set, Dragons Exalted.
Which in my opinion actually is pretty good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's okay.
And then we have Rocky Helmet.
Golden Rocky Helmet.
Exactly the same.
Alright. Tangrowth.
Tangrowth, okay. This card is kind of weird. I mean, its first attack is decent. This attack, okay, 100 whips. 1 grass energy, 30 times damage. This attack does 30 damage times the number of grass energy attached to the Pokemon. But then you can't use it during your next turn, which, I mean, I guess you could retreat it, but good luck because that is for retreat.
But you could also use Mega Retreat to do the 70 damage. It could, pretty much, it would obviously be knocking it out half the time. So,
only way I could see this card played would be with Darkrai.
I can't see that played, to be honest. It's hard to see.
Listen, you stack as much grass on both of them as you can, and then you use Darkrai to retreat into the other one, so you could use 100 whip every turn.
Alright, this sounds crazy, but this is what I'm thinking you could do it with. Shaman EX, Hydreigon, Blend Energy, Darkrai. Shaman EX, you attach a Blend Energy, search out all your Blend Energy, move them to the Tangrowth, bring up, well, obviously you have 1 energy left on the Shaman, retreat into the Tangrowth, move the other energy to the Tangrowth.
Wait, you're talking about Shaman from Unleashed?
No, Shaman EX.
Right, wait, I just realized something. You could use this with the Celebi, use 100 whips on 1 turn, and then use Nap from Tangela to heal 30.
No, I don't like that. Just look at this. You're doing grass, double colors, and a colorless for 4 energy. Pretty much you'll obviously either have 3 energy on it, so it wouldn't hurt to attach 1 energy from your hand, and you'll just be doing 70 damage and removing 3 damage counters from this Pokemon. I honestly
I never realized the second attack removes 3 damage counters.
Alright, Celebi EX.
Celebi, this is a pretty good card.
Pretty bad attacker, to be honest.
It's got a great ability.
Colorless, you're switching it with 16, switching it on your bench, but like I mentioned, it's like Memory Berry, but only as Pokemon, but it is catcher bait.
Exactly.
Or I could see that played with the Hydreigon that you're talking about.
I guess. I don't. Yeah, I mentioned that before, early in the video. The Vanny sucks. We're not gonna get into that. The Lilligan sucks. We're not gonna get into that. Camprupt.
Camprupt is pretty bad too.
Sucks.
Now I want to talk about this guy, Blastoise.
Squirtle. Let's get on Squirtle.
Squirtle's got a great ability.
It can't be damaged no matter what. So Glaciate.
No, it's on your bench.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Glaciate, Night Sphere, nothing to this Pokemon. It can't be 2-shotted on the bench. Unless you're doing something with Dusknoir. But who's going to see that? Alright, next we have
Blastoise. I'm very interested in this card.
And then, you know what? We're going to skip because the Golduck and the Psyduck suck. The Swanna and the...
Did we even talk about the Blastoids?
Yeah, we did.
I'm skipping these 2 cards so we can get to this card. Well, actually, I'm just gonna get to Swanna, 100 damage, they do. But anyways, so this is what I like. We skipped the Golduck, and we talked about the Swanna real quickly. Keldeo, Blastoise. I like Keldeo, I like Blastoise attack more than Keldeo, but Keldeo does have the better... What Keldeo is better with is let me read its ability. I'm pretty sure that if Slide catches up your Blastoise, starts to stall. I'm pretty sure Keldeo just jumps in the way. Pretty much all it's doing is pushing and jumping in the way and moving Blastoise back to the bench. So, but obviously you don't want to attack a Blastoise. You want to attack with Keldeo.
Yeah, at the same time, I don't like the idea of only using,
Water Pokemon.
EXs to attack.
Exactly, that's why I also mentioned that
Kyurem?
Attack.
Maybe Kyurem?
Kyurem and Kyurem EX?
No.
No Kyurem EX.
I think Blastoise, Keldeo, and, whatever it's facing.
Maybe 2 Kyurem, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Alright, anyways.
Next is Electivire, which is really bad. I guess we should just skip over that. Galvantula is kind of...
Galvantula suck once again. Dusknoir moves around damage counters, and
I
then
love it.
this for its ability.
Wait,
And
I want to talk about Dusknoir.
Dusknoir is really good, actually, in my opinion. Like I said, like if you mix it with Karen from No Victories, use Glaciate 30 to everybody, move around the energies. It's just devastating.
Or you can mix it with that Wismacop we talked about before, plus the Kyurem. So what you do, you have a larger amount of damage counters to move around to F around with.
Manipulate. 3 decks I see is actually 4 is Whimsicott, Kyurem with Dusknoir, just Kyurem, Rattata.
Oh, it has a weakness to darkness, just to let you guys know that.
Rattata, Dusknoir, do not see that.
Flygon, Dusknoir.
Flygon,
Well,
Flygon, Dusknoir, Raticate, Flygon, and Raticate Amogus. That's all I could.
But if
and
you
kill
hit,
the
like say you catch her up something, EX or something, like a Darkrai sitting on the bench or something, then you can sit there, hit it with the attack, bring it down to 10, move that at damage, hit it to 10.
But the point of Raticate is to kill the active Pokemon without and to get like a free prize card, and then you can still manipulate with turns. I'm not trying to sound mean or anything, but you do not use Dusknoir to Raticate. Honestly, all it's doing is countering itself out. I mean, the point of the Raticate deck is...
I see where you're coming from.
I mean, Flygon is a great companion, because...
I think Amogus is better.
What?
I think Amogus is better, to be honest.
It is, actually. Anyways, Toxic Rogue's pretty decent for poison, for Psychic and a double colorless. The fighting Pokemon's now poison for 60 damage, Revenge for colorless, 20 damage plus 70 if your active Pokemon's knocked out last turn.
Actually, it's not your active, it's if your opponent knocked out a Pokemon in your previous turn.
Oh, alright.
Swoobat sucks.
The Crobat, no. Swoobat is... I want to give this guy... Like, its first attack, if you mix it with Gardevoir, possibly it could be the neutral deck. I don't know.
Cards from the top deck of your... Oh, alright.
It's a little weird, but at the same time, I don't know. We'll have to see.
The...
Sandslash is no good.
Sandslash, no. Solrock, no. The Conkeler, no. The Crustle...
Is interesting, but it's not
Interesting,
playable.
but it's not playable.
It can't be one-hit KO'd by anything, but its attack isn't very good, so... I don't see how this could possibly be used.
Steel...
Scizor is kind of interesting, but definitely not playable, again.
Definitely not playable. Skarmory, not playable.
White Kirby-X, I love this card.
It's alright. It's just starting to fire energy.
Yeah, White Kirby-X, in my opinion, this is probably the superior dragon.
The next card is one of my favorite cards in this set.
Somebody please tell me how this card works.
What, White Kirby-X?
If you throw a EX onto it, your opponent's only taking 1 prize because they're technically killing Ditto. So say you throw on like a Mewtwo EX and then you X-Ball rapidly.
You get Mewtwo EX back into your hand when it's knocked out.
I'm not sure about that yet, but say you're attacking rapidly, you can you don't have that weakness to the other Mewtwo's, but they don't.
Do you still have the same amount of HP?
No.
Alright, then it's pretty good now. Thank you for... I love it now.
I'm considering...
they're not taking 2 prizes from it, though. They're only taking 1.
I'm considering maybe just running, like, absolute 4 Ditto, and then, like, 8 Blend, and then 4 Prism.
That could work.
Like, honestly, it probably could.
Yeah. Spongeboard sucks.
White Kirby-X, we didn't get to talk about it. I think that discarding energies for a burn might not be worth it, but it could one-hit KO a Mewtwo.
It could.
Fun fact. Dunsparce actually is pretty good, in my opinion.
Wait, what can one hit?
I skipped over that.
It's got double draw, the same one that Virizian's got.
Wait, what can one hit KO
Oh yeah,
Mewtwo?
you've got Double Draw. You could run this in your if you're gonna still play Empoleon Terrakion deck, people, you could run that instead of the Virizion.
Wait, what can one hit KO a Mewtwo?
White Kyurem EX possibly if they flip Tails on the burn.
That's true.
And then
Alright,
the
now-
Exploud, I think this is an interesting card. Roar of Destruction, 3 colorless, look at your opponent's hand, discard all the items. I don't know if this is just kind of garbage or just insanely cheap yet. It's interesting.
That would be good if Trainer Lock was still on.
Oh yeah.
So it'll all be locked in there, and then you can just discard it all.
No, you're helping out your opponent, so it doesn't.
What?
What
Oh
you're
yeah.
doing is.
But like, no, say you discarded all those, and they have like a shuffle draw card, like N. They couldn't shuffle all that back in and give them more time.
Well, but aren't supporters items? This is what I'm confused about.
Supporter
Junk
items are technically not items; they're supporters. I know it's really confusing.
It is, and then I honestly think they shouldn't label them items, because honestly, I think they should be junk arm searchable, since just because they have the word or any item is searchable, stabilize searchable, just because it has the word item on it.
I know it's stupid, but whatever.
Dokkaty's pretty bad, honestly. And Watchog is pitiful, and I want to talk about Stoutland. It's
Oh, I love
interesting,
this card.
but again, at the same time, I like Stoutland. He's a very cool Pokemon. He's just a
Terrible
dog,
effect.
but it technically is it's a Gothitelle lock, but with supporters.
Which is, to be honest,
It's not very
It's
good
probably
considering it has 3
half hurtful.
retreat.
I bet you a lot of like new players are gonna play that card.
probably.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I don't know.
Alright, let's get on.
Bicycle.
Sucks.
It's okay. Draw cards until you have 4, but at the same time, situations where you're gonna have under 4 cards in your hand are. It's like Bianca, only it's more situational.
Plus, it's a trainer. That's
Yeah.
Like the Ether, you're just taking a chance of using a random card.
Yeah, I
Sucks
hate
too.
Ether. I think it's pretty bad.
It's like Dark Patch, but you have like a 1 out of the number of how many cards you have left in your deck. Skyla, pretty good. Searching your deck.
Skyla is very good. in my
Ace spec
opinion.
card. Search Skyla for the Crystal
Spec.
Edge and all that stuff.
For any H-Spec card. Next we have the Espertia Gym, which I mentioned with Eradicate, but what it does gives the max HP increased by 20. Next we have Computer Search, H-Spec, discard 2 cards, and then search your deck for any 1 card and put it in your hand.
It's overpowered, frankly.
But that's why it's an H-Spec.
I mean, wait. Before you move on, I just want to say that it is technically a junk arm for your deck, but at the same time, I kind of think junk arm is better. To be honest,
It's situational, because sometimes you can have like a catcher in your discard.
because like you can
with none in
discard
your
stuff
deck,
and not
but
be
sometimes
afraid that you're
catcher
not going to
can be
have
in
it.
your deck with none in your
I
discard.
don't know, Junk Arm just, wait, what did you mention about Junk Arm? Was Computer Search or something?
He says junk arm's better, he thinks.
Just because you can put a catcher in the discard pile, or use one without worrying about not having it later, or you can have a hand and then be like,
I guess.
oh, I need to find
Here's
a
an
catcher.
idea. What if
Oh
you
well,
use
now you've
multiple?
got a junk arm in your hand and you can discard stuff and get it back.
Yeah, but you also have to remember,
It ensures that the card is there since you've already used it.
yeah,
Yeah,
If you know what I
but
mean.
if you're a good player and you memorized your deck, you would know what's left in your deck.
Yeah, but for late game, if you run 4 catcher, if you use 3, what are the chances that that last catcher is going to be there? I mean, if you're unlucky like me, it's definitely not going to be there.
alright, let's
Well,
get on
you
to
could use a
the...
cert when you look through your deck
Guys,
for
we're
like a
getting off
collector or
topic.
something.
We're getting pretty off topic.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's a good off topic.
Alright, anyway, any off topics, alright, but we're not get sick of the purpose. What we do, Crystal Edge, White Kyurem's attacks do 50 more
I think
damage.
that's a good card. I think it's a good card. I think it's better than
I think
white.
it's good.
Alright, now let's get on to the Bianca full art. I think it looks alright. I mean, I just like any training card that a trainer, like a
In my
trainer
opinion,
holding
it
a
looks a
Pokemon
lot
in it.
better than the Sharon one, because Sharon was kind of bland. This one has a lot more color.
Sharon looks like he's a
Yeah.
teacher that's boring his students.
Nobody likes teachers. I'm sorry, we do, but we don't like being teached by.
I like nice teachers. I don't like teachers that just sit there and go, off
Derp.
topic. I'm not saying it.
Yeah, you know what? Who cares? Alright, now we have
Terrakion Shiny.
Terrakion.
Okay, this card's gonna cost a buttload. Same thing as the one from Noble Victories, only it's shiny. Looks really cool
Ontario
though.
Shiny probably will cost a buttload if Garchomp actually sees play, which I believe it will not see that much play.
I don't like that deck at all.
It's too slow. It's
No,
anyways.
that's
I'll have to
bad.
disagree with you guys on that. I've actually versed a little bit before this. I versed a friend, and his proxies were a little confusing. But I mean, at the same time, like it is a good deck.
I mean, sometimes you could blame it on like the lighting, but honestly, if you get it good enough, if you get it set up good enough, if you get turn 2 high Garchomp, it's fine. The main problem of this deck is the Swablu and Altaria.
The Altaria are kind of annoying to get out.
No, Swablu are more annoying.
Because there isn't, you can't get them with Bite. I mean,
You can't. That's the worst part. I don't know how many times I would have an Altaria in my hand when I played the deck as a proxies, of course. As I play the deck, and I'm like, oh, why can't I search it out?
I honestly think it's pretty good.
Wait, why can't you search it out with Oh, it's not a dragon.
It's I was versing with hydreigon though, and it definitely has a favorable matchup against that deck. At the same time,
Hydration's got an easier, quicker matchup. But anyways,
Dragon has the Darkrai.
alright, well guys,
that's pretty much it. If you guys want to leave questions about what we think about decks and cards,
Give me questions.
if you want Gary back on the show, tell us. If you want Gary, I don't think we want Gary back because he sucks. I'm kidding, Gary. You're awesome.
Now.
I'm kidding. You're awesome, Gary.
I know, I'm joking.
All right.
I know.
So we'll see you guys later.
See you guys later.
And we hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you disagree with some of our stuff, it's all opinionated. Like, I know that these kids don't think Garchomp's very good. It's all in the deck list, guys.
I think it's okay.
Like the hydration, the person won.
I think it's very good, but at the same time, not getting good draws
This is for another episode, if we do another episode like this.
Because I'm versing this kid, and he's using pretty much the exact same deck list and search engine as I was, and I was doing terribly.
That's me.
Exactly. I'm like, what's your line of Garchomp? He's like 4-3-4. What's your Altaria? 3-3. What's your Level Ball? 4. What's your Ultra Ball? 2. And I used all that search.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the hydration versus hydrogen.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was another person.
Hydreigon's probably more balanced.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
But
Goodbye and
Like,
taco.
see you guys.
Favorite?
Okay.
Subscribe. Bye.
Subscribe to
Taco.
everybody. All right. So then, I hope you guys enjoyed. I think I said it like 10 times. Bye.